Don't believe everything that you see on YouTube. Hey guys, this is Jeff with Top Star Mobile Detailing, Las Vegas.
All right, Jeff, what's the first chemical you're using?
So this one's a maintenance client, so I'm using Brake Buster on the wheels. It's not super strong, but these wheels aren't really that bad. They're not caked up with brake dust, so if it's really heavy, I'll go with like a wheel breaker or like a non-acid cleaner that's a lot stronger and it strips it down, but these are pretty good shape. So,
and when it comes to detail supply stores in Vegas, what do you think? Are you guys limited? You guys have a lot of options? Walmart, O'Reilly?
There's a few of them around. There's, I think, IREP, there's Spot Free Water, just to name a couple. The Detail Shop, I hit those up once in a while. I usually stock up when I'm in West Covina at H2O. I have my service done on my generator and Kronzel and stuff out there, so I'll usually stock up for a few months worth of products while I'm out there. Sometimes Amazon too, if I'm starting to run low on something and I need it quick, like I'll just order it through them and they drop it at the gate. It makes it really convenient too, you know.
So Jeff, you mentioned you've been detailing for about a year. You're full-time already, but when it came to finding out what chemicals worked for you, how did you do that research?
School of YouTube. I spent a lot of hours on YouTube watching other detailers' content. Picked up a lot on there, and I mean, it's all out there. You just got to put in the time, you know, and watch what those guys are using, what they say. And you know, I tried some stuff out first, and some stuff I liked, some stuff I didn't, and dropped the stuff that I didn't and stuck with the stuff that I did, and still kind of always learning and picking up new things as I go too. So, you know, I try a new product here and there. Sometimes if I'm in one of the shops, they'll be like, hey, you should try this. I'll give it a shot. If it works, I'll stick with it. If not, you know, I just move on to the next thing.
All right, Jeff. So there's a big debate in the detail community. A lot of new influencers, there are detailers promoting products. Some get paid for it, some this and that. What have you found out about the YouTube community when it comes to learning about chemicals?
Don't believe everything that you see on YouTube. Like you just said, a lot of these guys are getting paid to talk about this product. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a great product. You know, try it out, see what you think, but don't believe just because they're saying, oh, this is the greatest thing or whatever that it actually is, if it's a sponsored ad where they're getting paid. If they're not getting paid and they're just doing a review of products that they use and like, cool. If they're getting paid for it, it's a little biased in my opinion.
Big trending right now, Coach Chemi.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it, man? Overhyped, overpriced, great products, or you haven't really tried it?
So, yes, they're expensive. They're expensive product, but I think they're a great brand and their products work. So I use a lot of their products. So I really do like them. And you know, some of the stuff, it's you get what you pay for. And if it does a great job and it makes your job easier, then I say go for it, you know?
All right, Jeff. So we would like to know, what have you figured out about making the chemicals last? Or do you feel, hey, you gotta use this part of the game to get the best results? Because they could get pricey, bro.
Yeah, I think it comes down to diluting them properly. You know, the goal is to use as little product as possible to get the job done. So I always kind of probably dilute mine a little bit more than you can always make them stronger and add more if you need to for like a really grimy car or something. But I like to keep them, I don't want to say weak, but as diluted as possible that will get the job done. That's going to cut down your cost, and it also is going to prevent any damage to the car if you're using like interior products. If you're going really strong products over the course of time, those products are going to start to eat away at the interior, you know, so you just want to be mindful of that. And I like to just use as little as possible to get it done.
What's that chemical right there, Jeff?
This is a little bit of Green Star APC. It's just diluted down a little bit to take some of the grime off the mats. We'll give them a little scrub with the drill brush. Get some of that staining off of there.
When it comes to spray bottles, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, that's a whole conversation there. I've been using the IK sprayers for a while, but A lot of them, the tops, like the where they screw on, they just become really loose quickly. And one of the problems I have is when you go to pick them up, that sometimes they just separate from the bottle and you end up dropping it and spilling your product. They're good when they work, I'll say that. I do like them when they work, they're awesome. The ones that I've filled in that are different ones, they're because these fell apart and will no longer work. IK, if they're somewhat new, like a few months old, they'll swap them out for you if you write them an email and kind of go back and forth. I've done that a few times with them, but it's kind of a process. So I just picked up some other bottles to replace them out. Yet to find a really, really good bottle that will last a long time and work the way that it should work. So I'm constantly trying out new bottles. If any of you guys know of a really good bottle that works well and lasts long, please jump in the comments below and let us know. So you guys were asking about the products. The soap that I use for the foam cannons is GSF, Gentle Snow Foam. This stuff is amazing. You can see how thick it goes on. Makes a really good, like, it's almost like a shaving cream lather. It's really windy out here, so I gotta stand closer than normal. So we're gonna let that soak in for a minute, kind of drag the dirt down off it. We'll rinse it off, we'll foam it up again, and then do a hand wash.
Now, with this type of soap, I'm just asking, seems like you used a lot. Is that an average amount, or do you like using a lot?
I like to use probably a little bit more than you need to. I think when it's really thick like that, it latches onto the dirt and drags it down. And then for the hand wash, it also makes like a really nice lubricant for the sponge, where it's not dragging at all. It's just nice and smooth. You don't have to use really any pressure at all. So I like to go probably a little heavy on the foam. So this is another product that I use. This stuff is great for getting the job done fast, but it's very effective. This is a good premium product. Rather than drying the car and then putting on some type of ceramic product or wax, this you put on while the vehicle's wet. It's much faster. It takes literally not even 5 minutes to do the whole car, and the results are amazing. The water will just bead up and sheet right off of it. So I like using this product, especially here in Vegas, where, you know, the heat is a factor, the time is a factor. You need to work quickly and efficiently. So this is my go-to here in Vegas. One of the important things with this is you never want to spray it on just dry panels. It needs to be wet like that. You put it on, just let it dwell for like 10, 15 seconds. You never want to let this sit in here in the direct sun, be on there for a few minutes, because it will leave spots on the car later. So let it work for a minute. And then when you hose it off, I like to go bottom to top on this, so it's spraying the product back up on the car. That. Versus if you just go down, you just wash it all to the ground. So you get a lot more out of it going bottom to top.
Now, is this an upsell or included in all your maintenance?
This is included with my package. If they want me to do it after the vehicle's dried and then put on a coating like a ceramic sealant or like a bead maker, dream maker combo, I offer that service, but it's at a higher price point because that's going to take me an extra 30, 40 minutes versus this takes me 5 minutes to do it. So this would be included with my normal package. So it gives an effect similar to a ceramic coating. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as a full ceramic coating is, but it's going to give you pretty good results. This stuff will usually last around 3 months if you're not running your car through car washes, which I hope you're not doing, and you keep your car in the garage.
All right, Jeff, what's next? What's the next chemical?
So next we're going to do just a quick wipe down on the inside. Again, this one's a maintenance client, so it's not super dirty. For that, I use P&S interior cleaner. I dilute it 5-to-1. You can dilute it less or more, but that's kind of like a good medium range for me. It'll clean up most dirt and grime, but it's not going to damage the interior. So
Jeff, you don't got to go anybody under the bus. You don't got to say no names. But what's one chemical that you use and you're like, man, this is trash? Do you have something like that?
I don't like, what is it, Viper, the Viper product. It's like you can use it for trim restore, or you can use it on dashes and stuff like that, or tires, but it's greasy. I don't know, I don't like the way that it works. It leaves a weird residue to it. It's not ideal on tires. It's not ideal in the interior. So everything that I've tried it on, it has lackluster results. So that's one thing that I bought that it's been sitting in my storage and I don't use it anymore. So
where'd you get it from? I've never heard of that brand before.
I got that at H2O when I was stocking up on a bunch of my products. That was one of the things where they were like, oh, you got to try this, you got to try this. And sometimes the only way to find out is to try it on your own. You know, I mean, you can't take people's word for it, but if you never try it, you never know. So I maybe wish I didn't buy as big of a jug as I did. You know, I should have started with the little small size and went from there, but you live and learn, you know. What's one chemical that you guys hated? Drop in the comments below.
All right, Jeff, window cleaner. What's your go-to?
I like invisible glass. You can get this on Amazon. Yeah, I think you can even get it at Walmart. It's probably not the most expensive premium brand, but it really works. This stuff, it's pretty cheap. I buy them on Amazon all the time, and it does the job. It doesn't leave streaks. And this lasts a while. One of these cans usually lasts like a month or something. So this one's pretty simple for me.
And I see you don't use a lot.
You don't need much, yeah. You actually want to use as little as possible on this too, because if you oversaturate it, then it's actually going to leave streaks on the window. These windows are pretty clean because we maintain them and they don't really get too dirty. If the windows are super dirty first, I'll usually hit it with like some soapy water and like a Ninja scrubber or another towel and actually wash it first, then glass cleaner. Or I have one of those waffle weave towels that I'll use too. But this is more just like light dust and some fingerprints. So you really just need a tiny, tiny bit to take that off. So I like to spray on the actual applicator, not on the tire, especially today where it's windy out. If you're spraying on the tire, it's blowing all down the side of the car. You'd have all little dots everywhere on the rims. Put it on the applicator, and then you don't need a lot for this. The key with tire shine, first is to make sure the tire's really clean, so you give it a thorough scrubbing. The second most important thing is the tire is dry, bone dry, because you don't want any water on the tire, and then you're putting shine over the water so it doesn't allow it to bond to the rubber. And that's what's going to give you that sling all down the sides of the car. Sometimes you'll see like tire sling all over the car and you're like, why is that? It's usually because they didn't put it on a dry tire.
And what's the chemical you're using?
This is Meguiar's Ultimate Tire Shine. Again, I get this on either Amazon or Walmart. It's pretty cheap. It's like nine something a can. Probably not the least expensive option because you can, use other stuff that's cheaper. But I like this because it leaves a really good shine. It's not super sticky. It doesn't stack up like some of the other shines where over time it just makes the tire really gunky and greasy. I just put a really light layer on this and those will last you a while, unless you're dealing with like really big truck tires or Jeep tires or something, then it's using a lot more. But these tires are pretty low profile minimum. And then you get that seal on the edge of the rim there, don't miss that.
Now, have you ever had a client say, I don't like the shininess?
On the tires?
Yeah. Everybody's okay with that.
I haven't had anyone say they don't like the shininess, but I have had clients with the truck tires sometimes where they say skip that, because with the truck tires sometimes it still will sling because it gets in the different grooves of all the knobbies on the tires, and then that will sling off. But most people like a little shine on the tires. Just gives them that extra pop to the detail. So those are all the detail products that I use. Let me know what you guys use in the comments below. And let me know what type of videos you guys would like to see next. And don't forget to like and subscribe.